Welcome to Track Stacker, where we navigate the sonic waves of classic albums' highs and lows. Today, we're taking a time capsule back to 1998 to stack the tracks from Maybe You've Been Brainwashed 2, the soul but punchy album by the electrifying New Radicals. Shout out to Josh G for the idea. This album reverberated through the charts with its anthemic singles and audacious lyrics, landing hits while also becoming the band's swan song as they disbanded a year later. Touted as an uplifting blend of alternative rock and blue-eyed soul, Greg Alexander's virtually solo undertaking gathered a smorgasbord of session musicians to create this gem. Let's dive into the heady mix of sarcasm, socio-political commentary, and sheer melodic power, tracking from the least to the most brainwashing song of this one-hit wonder of an album. Starting our stack at the bottom with Technicolor Lover, a track dripping with Prince-like funk and sensual soulfulness. Here, Alexander paints a picture of an unconventional, carefree romance, wrapped in his thin but earnest vocal style. While it's less clearly aligned with the album's overarching themes of socio-political rumination, this tune's flirtatious energy and off-kilter charisma do offer a refreshing break from the heavier subjects tackled in other songs. Its place in the album narrative provides listeners with a playful respite, yet in the grander scheme of the New Radicals' discography, this song doesn't quite share the spotlight. A quirky break from reality, because even rebels need a love song, but darling, it's not quite the one that'll color your world. Taking the 11th spot, In Need of a Miracle is the sonic equivalent of a dessert at a protest meal, sweet, but out of place. The track percolates with a desperation for love that is longing for a divine intervention, draped in 70s soul attire. Although Alexander's blue-eyed soul is likened to Todd Rundgren, In Need of a Miracle doesn't hit the emotional crux of the album's central angst against societal norms. It does, however, make a hopeful gesture towards personal solace within the gritty discourse of the album. Even the most radical hearts beg the cosmos for a little loving, but some miracles are just soundtrack fillers. At number 10, Flowers blooms with an earnest plea for authenticity in relationships. The song's floral metaphor unravels the need for natural, unadulterated connection, a quest that's in tune with the album's disdain for the artificial. Though less gripping than Alexander's full-throttle socio-political commentary, it still reflects the internal wrestle of genuine versus manipulated sentiments. The musical arrangement is a smooth groove, but amongst the substantial lyrics and thunderous anthems on the rest of the record, it does place a bit lower in memorability. If our love should be like flowers, this track is more of a daisy in a field of roses. Alright, let's hit pause for a quick trivia question. What notable 90s band did Greg Alexander write a hit song for after disbanding New Radicals? Ponder on that as we stack those tracks, and drop your guesses in the comments below. Taking the 9th slot, the self-referential and cynically titled Maybe You've Been Brainwashed 2 goes deeper into the human psyche with its portrayal of manipulation and the twisted dynamic of its characters. Musically, the song layers Alexander's raw vocal delivery with a gritty background, creating a space for introspection within the track's jaded narrative. It's a centerpiece in identifying the album's thematic cynicism and stands as a pivotal music statement. While evocative, it doesn't quite outshine the larger-than-life presence of its leading counterparts. Certainly thought-provoking, maybe a bit too on the nose. Don't worry, you're not brainwashed if this isn't your number one. Next up, That'll Stay High crashes into 8th place with its portrayal of emotional highs and lows. Beyond the superficial connotation of escapism through substance, the true high here is the craving for human connection, something Greg Alexander doesn't shy away from showcasing in his songwriting. The song's manic energy both contrasts and couples with the relentless pressure of the outside world described in other album tracks. Its position within New Radicals' brief oeuvre marks it as emotionally candid, yet somehow it remains a notch below their most distinctive work. If life's a roller coaster, this tune's one of the minor dips before the loop-the-loops, still fun, but not the thrill we came for. In the middle at number 7, we've got I Don't Wanna Die Anymore, an earnest moment of self-reformation set to an endearing musical backdrop. This song deals with rejecting destructive tendencies and the rebirth into a hope-filled life. It resonates with the album's overall narrative of shaking off the mental shackles of external forces. Touching on the universal theme of personal redemption, it's a standout for the authenticity of its message, though the melody doesn't quite ascend to the memorable heights of Alexander's best. While the title suggests an existential crisis, the only thing dying here is the chance of this song taking the top spot. Landing at 6th is Jehovah Made This Whole Joint for You, a zesty satire laced with both religious and recreational references. The track's ironic blend of reverence and rebellion feels apropos for an album that tackles topics ranging from the banal to the profound with a similar duality. However, it's the dichotomy of the song's cheeky mood against its skeptical content that cements its place in the new radicals discourse. The chord progression carries a Stones-esque swagger, but sometimes faith and pharmaceuticals aren't the ticket to the top tier of timeless tracks. It's a divine musical nod that makes you think heaven might have had a new Radicals record on repeat, but not this track. Before we get to the best, we want to hear from you. What's your lineup for Maybe You've Been Brainwashed too? Share your rankings in the comments, and let us know what album you'd like to see us tackle next. We're stacking our way through every album ever, and hey, if you give us a great suggestion, we might just have to give you a shout out. So make your voice heard, and let's keep these tracks stacking. Halfway through and Crying Like a Church on Monday brings the album's emotional tenor to a somber sky. The juxtaposition of heartache with church serenity creates a deeply poignant canvas for Alexander's vocals to soar with a touch of the gospel. This track is an atmospheric shift in the album, diving deep into the soulful pain of longing and the authenticity of raw emotion. It's a standout in its powerful simplicity, and the gospel twist shores up the album's introspective potency. Sure to have you weeping into your hymn book, but a few tears short of a baptismal flood. Claiming the 4th best track is I Hope I Didn't Just Give Away the Ending. The song's narrative may set you adrift in a sea of abstraction, but it's this element that showcases Alexander's love for unpredictability. The first 2 minutes are a stripped-down prelude to a soul-searching journey that takes a sharp turn at the 3:18 mark, a deliberate step to wrench you back into the focus. It reflects the album's ethos of embracing the unexpected and taking society's composed facade and giving it an improvisational shake-up. Worry not, storytellers, the only thing given away here is the secret to a provocatively good tune, just missing the narrative on first place. At number 3, Mother We Just Can't Get Enough is an exuberant confession of insatiable love that could have been the album's kinetic 3rd single. The track's formidable mix of driving rock rhythms and operatic choruses pops like candy for the ears. It is through this blend of addictive melodies and lyrics that speak to the persistent pursuit of pleasure that the album articulates one of its core messages, our relentless human desires that both empower and enslave us. Mother We Just Can't Get Enough consummately intertwines with the album's greater storyline of stifling societal norms. This addictive ditty is like musical sugar, you know too much is bad for you, but you just want more. Sitting proudly at 2nd best is Someday We'll Know with its poignant exploration of life's unanswerable questions. This track captures the essence of the album's emotional core, the intersection of personal sorrow and universal curiosity. The song soars with a heartfelt yearning for understanding, both powerful and introspective, showcasing the more tender side of Greg Alexander's songwriting. As the 2nd single, it could have been a major hit, its blend of melody and mystery embodying the New Radicals' signature style of provocative pop. An existential interrogation that's melodically gorgeous. We may never know some things, but we do know this track almost had it all. And taking the top of our track stacker ranking, You Get What You Give is an enduring anthem that catapulted Greg Alexander and company into the limelight, however fleeting. The song's jubilant hook and earnest message serve as a clarion call to the importance of maintaining balance and joy amidst tumult. Sinfully catchy and stabbed to the heart, pointed in its critique of materialism, this rebel rocker defined the New Radicals and grabbed the zeitgeist by the collar. It epitomizes the album's essence with zest and serves as a timeless memo to the cultural state of late 90s America. A supercharged track that casts a far-reaching spell. If success was a coin, this song cashed it in and bought the whole jukebox. Before we drop the needle and let the record spin out, here's the answer to our trivia question. Greg Alexander penned the hit Game of Love for none other than Santana featuring Michelle Branch. How'd you do? Did you nail it, or have you been brainwashed too? Thanks so much for joining us here at Track Stacker. If you love this musical deep dive, then subscribe to our channel for more tune-tastic content, and don't forget to like and share. Keep stacking, and we'll see you next time.